All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have now in studio a very special guest, country music star Jake Owen. You got the new album out. Greetings from Jake. I'm a big fan. You got some great golf course jams that you've put out over the years. So I'm a big fan of that. You're a big golf guy. Welcome. First of all, first impressions kind of being in Barstool Sports.
Dude, I walked in with my twin brother, and he goes, "Is this a fucking job for these people?" and I said, I was like, "Yeah, dude, it's Barstool Sports." You know, like my twin brother's now working with me. Like he's lived in my hometown in Pebble Beach, Florida, for like the last 35 years, and hasn't left. And I was like, "You need to come see the world, man. You need to get out of that little fishbowl down there and come out." And so this is like his first experience in New York City, going around with me and stuff. Yeah. So when he walked in, he was like, "Jesus, there's a bar too?" Like he's like, Jared goes, "What have I been doing with my life for So that was my first impression of walking in here.
Yeah, it's a good time to be here too. We got baseball going on. We've had March Madness going on. So it is like, of all the times we always try to claim to people, like, no, we do a lot of work, and they come in, they're like, dude, like, what the hell are you guys doing? It's a joke. Yeah. So it's a good time. We're glad you came in. You're a big golf guy. What's what's the status of your golf game? Hit us with where you're at right now.
Man, I'm working on a grip change right now, and so yeah,
big thing.
You guys
you're fucked.
I'm fucked.
You're in trouble.
Yeah, and it's like my golf club closes for the winter, and it just opened back up. So I went out to the range the other day, and way long story short, backstory. Like 4 or 5 years ago, I was driving go-karts with Kevin Harvick, and that. By the way, I'm not trying to drop names. Paul McCartney told me not to drop names. So
wow, here we go. This is a little bit right now.
Yeah, he's doing a little. He's coming in hot with a bit. I love it.
Okay. Coming in.
The more names you drop on this show, the better for us.
So shaky name drops.
Oh yeah. But I was riding go-karts with Kevin, and I flipped the go-kart and cut the tip of my finger off. So this hand right there. That's
That thing's all messed up.
That fucked up digit.
Yeah, that's gone.
Holy shit.
This shit's gone.
How do you flip a go-kart?
Good question. They told me they'd never seen it happen before, but dude, when I drive anything, dude, I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna send it. You know, and so
Can't stop looking at your finger.
No, you can't. Check it out, dude.
Oh my God.
Take a
It's
picture.
horrifying.
Make a poster. Put it on the wall.
That is horrifying. Jesus.
But so anyway, I flipped it, and ever since that day for my golf game, I've played okay, but it's hard to grip the club in the way I used to. So I kind of reverted to this weaker grip, and actually going from a kid, when we learn all kids kind of start off with a stronger grip.
Oh yeah.
But I don't hit it left, because of my grip's a little weaker now, and I just hit this little straight little fade. So I decided this is the season where. All those times that I've played with that whacked grip, I'm like, I just need to suck it up and do it. But you guys know, if you make a grip change, you have to commit to playing shit for a while.
Oh yeah, it feels like you've never done anything athletic in your entire life. When you go to a grip change for the first time, stand over the ball, you're like, "This is not gonna. We just can't do this."
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I'm working on that right now, and I don't know, just having a good time, man.
Yeah.
So you've been Jordan Spieth's partner in the Pebble Pro-Am.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
Okay, well, about 6 years ago, I guess it was. It was my first time playing the Pebble Beach Pro-Am, and I was paired with Kelly Kraft. It was also a Texas guy. He won the U.S. Amateur. And Jordan was paired with Tony Romo. And we played the first 3 or 4 days together, and the following year – I guess it was Kelly didn't get his tour card back, and Tony Romo hurt his shoulder, broke his collarbone or whatever it was, and so neither one of them came back. And Jordan called me. He's like, "Hey man, I had a good time playing with you. Would you want to play?" I said, "Yeah." So that was before he hit his big lick, and it's kind of funny because now everybody's like, "Who do you play with out there at the Pebble Beach Pro?" And I'm always like, "Jordan Spieth." And people are like, "Great, good job." But it's cool because the last 5 years. We play the same group every year, so it's Jordan and I, and Wayne Gretzky and Dustin Johnson. So pretty solid.
Shaking name drops. This is
dude. I'm not name dropping. I'm just telling.
No, that's just who you're playing with.
No, I know. I'm just how I roll, bro.
5 minutes into the fucking show, you dropped
Wayne
10 minutes.
Gretzky. I mean, Wayne Gretzky. I almost fell off the
I
chair.
saw your Islanders.
What do you think about that?
I mean, other than the fact that it's Florida Gator colors, and I'm kind of anytime I see the orange and blue like that, being a Florida State Seminole, it's kind of, I don't know. Other than
piercing.
That, dude, I think you a hockey fan?
It
brings your eye color out a little bit. It's
Ooh.
nice.
That's very nice.
Watch out, he's a lunatic. I'm pointing at Frankie. He's
Yeah,
an
no,
absolute
when we talk hockey,
Islander
things happen.
lunatic.
Show.
Yeah,
we'll have
no.
to cut the rest
We're
of the
gonna
show.
have to cut
He'll
the
just
rest,
go. He'll go full Islander
Let's
on
keep
you.
it a
and
go.
You
You
can't,
wanna take
you
a
can't
look at
come
it
back
again?
at that
No,
point.
no. We'll keep it a go. We got a big game tonight. I can't be getting wheezy. I can't look at that.
Yeah.
Tavares back in town, so Frankie's wires are all messed up
Yeah.
today.
So I have a podcast, and I need more people like you guys on it. Like,
Oh.
you know what I mean? Like
Done.
coming in here and having like your buds with you while you're doing it seems like a good idea. I always kind of do it myself, and I'm now starting to learn something from you guys.
Yeah, we kind of just hang and wing it. People like that. People, people
I'm
I
good
think
at winging it.
we can tell. People feel like they think that they're just sitting in the room. That's what you're going for.
Yeah, you gotta do that.
So you ever, when you're out in that group playing with, like, no big deal, but, Wayne Gretzky and Dustin Johnson and Jordan Spieth, you ever, like, mess up? Like, just
Yeah.
getting like, not even golf-wise, I mean, like, logistically or...
One of the funny maybe I shouldn't say that. Yeah.
Do
No,
it.
you should.
Just do it.
Nobody will listen
Yeah,
to this.
I should. I was, and this isn't like a sexist comment, so I'm sticking up for my buddy, Jordan, but one of the funnier things you talk about being like something funny during those rounds.
Yeah.
I like getting like advice from Jordan or Dustin. I mean, those guys are the best in the world, right? So why would you not ask? So I'll sometimes be like, hey, what do you think this putt's going to do or whatever? But at the same time, they're there to play the actual tournament and win. They're not really there to like, I mean, we have fun, don't get me wrong, but they're not there to like give me pointers.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
He's trying
So-
to win a PGA Tournament, and he's
like,
over
I'm
here
over
like,
trying to
no,
win a
you
PGA
got to look at
tournament,
it.
bro. So he was told, he gave me the line. Like, he was like, yeah, man, you want to put it out like, maybe like 2-3 inches outside the right side of that cup. I was like, cool, man. I was like, and I'm like, hey, you mind like make sure I'm all right? Like, he was behind me. I was like, am I lined up all right? He's like, dude, this isn't the LPGA tour. What because the LPGA, all the caddies like to stand behind him and they'll go, okay, you're good, and they walk off. So when I said that to him, he's like, dude, this isn't the LPGA.
That's great.
So he kind of roasted me pretty good.
Yeah, he did. He kind
What
of.
about nerves playing in that group? First tee, you getting the jitters like your average golfer? Like,
No, because I drink before.
Okay.
Smart.
Yeah.
It's a good
I mean,
move.
I don't get like hammered or anything, but I have a couple drinks. Wayne Gretzky, though, he doesn't even go hit golf balls. He just straight to the bar.
Straight to the tee?
Straight to the bar.
Oh.
Straight to the tee.
Unreal.
Yeah. Cigar.
The
Vodka.
great one.
The great-
Unbelievable.
The great one. And I will say this. Out of all celebrities, professional golfers, everyone that plays in that tournament, I've never seen anyone like as big a celebrity as Wayne Gretzky. I
Wow.
mean, the way that people they will chase him down with jerseys and like people getting in fights, throwing jerseys over the ropes at him to get
He's
him.
a living legend, right? Like, how often do you see someone like that walking around?
Can I give you a good Wayne Gretzky?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking of the great one, you'll appreciate this.
Oh,
I mean, imagine your nickname is the Great One.
Right.
This is a true story. True story here. We're finishing the round of golf. It's the last day of the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. My brother is caddying. Actually, it was my buddy Ryan Parsons was caddying for me that year. And he looked at Wayne. He goes, hey, Wayne, I'm not asked this, but could you sign a couple golf balls for my two boys? And he's like, oh, yeah, sure. He pulls out his balls, which are the 99. He plays TaylorMade balls that are 99, number
Unbelievable.
99.
Yeah.
And he signed both of them. And he goes, here. He's like, I'm going to do you one better, too. He's like, let me see that caddy bib you got. And he signed it. He goes, now go ask Jake to sign it and Jordan and Dustin. He goes, but when you get off the course, they're going to ask you to give this back. But he goes, you tell them to get fucked because the great one signed it.
What?
I love it.
I love it. Yeah. This is like, I was like, did you just call yourself the great one? Like,
He's allowed to.
yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
unbelievable.
And
Yeah.
the
Tell him
best
to get
part is
fucked.
like while he's on the tee too, people will be like, "Great one, the great one," and it's almost like
Yeah.
it's like almost seems like it's like biblical or something.
He's like a king.
Yeah, he's a king.
Yeah.
I have a weird history with Wayne Gretzky just because I got in that whole little internet fight saying I didn't think he could play in 2018, but that's not. I mean,
Frankie
that's
said he
not-
couldn't make an NHL roster in 2018.
Really.
Well, long story short, I said that the game has changed so much. We actually on the last podcast talked about how like golfers from 2018, if you put them in like the 1950s, I actually think that they would do worse just because they're so used to the new technology and all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Like you put like these Hickory
Don't
clubs
you,
in their
well,
hands.
that's what I was gonna say. Don't you think there should be one tournament a year where it's like the
That'd be outrageous.
the Hickory Stick Classic?
Yeah.
That
And
would be.
everybody.
that name is unbelievable.
Everybody has to play with a niblick.
That's such a good idea.
And like a
The
fat
Hickory
one-
Stick Classic
Yeah,
is a done deal.
even
Can
if
we
I-
do the Barstool Sports Hickory Stick Classic?
I mean,
I'm
And
just-
I'll call Jordan. We'll get them all. Let's go. Like, let's be like, dude. It's
Let me
on.
email business team right
Yeah,
now.
right now, it's like
That is-
We're gonna cut this from the show
welcome
so
to the
nobody
Hickory Stick
steals
Classic,
it.
brought to you guys by Barstool Sports.
oh my god, the Hickory Stick Classic.
Yeah.
even if you don't do it with Hickory sticks,
I mean,
you have
goodbye,
to call it tournament.
goodbye
the Hickory
Zurich.
Stick
That's what we're
Classic.
replacing the Zurich
Yeah,
with.
we're not big fans of the Zurich.
The Zurich
Classic.
Classic's the worst thing that's ever happened in
We're
sports. But
We're just
um,
doing the Hickory Stick Classic.
But yeah, I always compare that. Like I just think hockey has evolved so much more. Like his style of game just wouldn't translate to this because it's just like he was able to just maneuver his way around. And I mean, no one's going to be able to touch his statistics because that game just isn't around anymore.
Right.
You have like Alex Ovechkin, who's by far the best goal scorer of all time. He can't get 230 points in a season.
So
It's
as you
insane.
can tell, Frankie died on the hill that Wayne Gretzky
Yeah, died.
wouldn't be able to make a.
But I'm
NHL
still
roster.
a huge Wayne Gretzky fan.
Yeah, he's the great one. I
Yeah,
mean,
he's the great one.
Literally
The
tees
guy
off and they
floats
say.
the guy floats while he's playing the pro-am. People call him the great one. It's insane.
Yes.
Back to golf.
What's
We're-
y'all's handicaps?
Where you at? I'm currently, I think, a 6.
Oh, that's good.
Mine's a million. I'm a terrible golfer.
That's
It's
cool,
fun.
though. No, I think that's the beauty of golf, man. When I ask people their handicaps, it's not to be like, oh, how good are you? I just like to know, and I think the thing about golf that I love is just anybody can play it, and it's funny no matter what age you pick it up. Because I've got a lot of buddies who are like, oh man, I've never played golf, and then you get them out there, and it's addicting because it's so hard. And
Yep.
You know, so anyway, I kind of
Unbelievably
cut you off. In your
it's
handicap, is
I go between like a 10 and a 12. My better years, I'm closer to 10, obviously. But I have this thing called the butter knives, the skull fucks. So I can't hit a ball 40 yards and in. I just can't do it.
Yeah, he skulls it. He calls
skull.
why?
I don't know. It's a mental thing.
You know why?
Why?
Can I give you a little tip?
Love it.
Okay. And I mean this, like it helped me my golf game a lot, man. So Matt Killen, who coaches Justin Thomas.
Yeah.
Here I go again, right? Dropping
No,
names.
it's okay.
No, you don't do that at all.
It's
No.
for part of the story, bro.
Yeah.
That's right.
Fuck off. I'll walk out of here right now.
Every story.
Dude,
you
this
start-
is literally
I'll
like
walk
when
out this.
4 names.
I hate to bring this up, but it's like when you have to say that you're from Harvard. You can't just say it. Like you did go
It's
to
true.
Harvard, so it's like you have to say
You
it.
went
with
to
like this-
Harvard, bro?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah.
What
See that
initial-
reaction?
What
See that reaction?
initial
I
thoughts
only-
went through your mind?
That's literally the reaction we
That's-
always
I
have.
only said it though just to kind of like lube
Yeah,
him
but
up a little
we
bit.
always say it. That's the reaction. Like, oh, what school did you go to? And he has to say like, oh, it's Harvard, and everyone goes, oh, but you did go to Harvard. Like you're name dropping, but you did do stuff with these people. You
No,
can't.
you do
can't
have
get-
to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You can't get around it.
Well, so Matt Killen, I was having the same issue, man. Like that's the thing. A lot of like amateur golfers on those short shots like that. And that's the thing that's kind of backwards again with the way sports has changed, technology, all that. Like everybody's just about bombing the ball now, right?
Yeah.
But you bomb it on a par 4 that was made for clubs, a 355, 75-yard par 4, right?
Yeah.
A lot of guys now, I mean, even amateurs are bombing it out there 300 yards, right? So
Yep.
you got 55 yards to the green. Is that what we're talking about here? Your
Yes.
skull fucks?
Yes.
Okay. So 55 yards to the green. A lot of times people you just don't have enough weight, believe it or not, on your left leg. Like Matt Killen was working with me before. I got they gave me an exemption to play in a web.com event last year, which that's a whole other story.
Unreal.
Yeah.
I got some questions about that
Oh,
one.
dude, it was terrible. But I do have some. I can justify some of it. But let's get back to this for a second. I'll tell you that he told me, Matt did. He's like, look, Jake, you're just you're too much on your back leg. So what happens is on those little short shots, you can either decelerate, you either blade it or just chunk it.
It's all over the place. Yeah, it's if I try and think about all right, let's use the bounce. Let's just let the club do the work. I'll just chunk it.
No.
And if I say, all right, let's just go at
This
the ball, I
is,
blade it.
Yeah, this is a good. I'm giving a shout out to you, Matt Killen. He's an amazing guy when it comes. I mean, he coaches Kenny Perry, Justin Thomas, JB Holmes. He's got a bunch of these guys.
Wow.
And anyways, his deal is he told me he's like just play that ball a little further up in your stance on your maybe off your front toe.
Yeah.
Just put a 70-30 weight, like 70% on your front
Oh, so
leg.
it's significant.
Yeah, believe it or not, it kind of feels like you're almost leaning. But what happens is your angle of attack is always just so crisp that way, and the main thing is it'll keep you from blading it.
See,
And
that's what Kiz told you too.
Yes.
Where he's like, you got to lean.
Lean.
He was doing the lean with the leg.
Right. Now
We
I'm a
have-
lefty, so it'd be my right leg.
Yeah. We have
Right.
Kisner on the show all the time, so he made
He's
a,
awesome.
He's
I
awesome.
love Kisner.
He made a video trying to help Frankie. He said the same thing, and he basically told him
it's
you got to get your leg gone.
It's just like
Jake's
just
up.
a little bit, a little bit.
Looks good.
You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
yeah.
It does
Look
look
at those
good.
boots, bro. I got 'em-
Holy
I
smokes!
got
Look at
'em
those
with
things.
spikes.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, you have to be a country music star to be able to say it, to wear that. I can't walk around in an Islanders shirt and wearing those boots.
I feel like you could. Though.
No, I can't.
I feel like
If
you could.
you-
You have to just not give a shit. Like,
Well,
you can't
You
give
also
it.
have to like.
Obviously, right?
You also have to like
You gotta
sing
sell
at
a
the
bunch of
Daytona
records,
500. Like you're like a records. You're a star. I can't
No,
walk
dude.
around in that.
I'm not. Actually, I'm not.
Jake, we're bloggers, bro.
I mean,
we can't be wearing
Can
these.
you
you walked
imagine
into-
if I walked
Stop
into
that.
this office wearing an
If Frankie
Islander
walked
hoodie
into
and
that,
those boots,
into
I'd get
this,
fired.
You get killed in this
I'd
office.
get fired.
'cause People make fun.
I mean, you wouldn't wear them. You think you get? I don't think you'd get fired.
Listen to me.
I might send you a pair.
I'd wear them on my. You'd see me
You
in
should
my
just
room.
walk up in here one day
No,
with just a
I'd
pair.
be-
It would be unbelievable
He
if
wear-
you walked
he'll-
in here like that.
He doesn't
couple
even
times-
realize that who's like. I once wore like a cool guy shirt. They called it a cool guy Frankie shirt. I wore a shirt with polka dots on it, like paint splatter polka dots, and it was on every single video series we have here. They're like, look at Frankie trying to be cool guy Frankie.
Well, you go from this garb every day to
Yeah.
then you came in with a cool guy shirt. Now you're gonna come
So
in
you
with
wear
Jake Owen
Islanders
boots.
stuff
on?
every day,
I try to.
right?
You respect that?
I respect that.
Yeah.
I mean,
That was
I
great.
don't
I would-
know.
Right.
Everybody's
Right.
got their thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'd love to
He
look
said-
like you.
he
Like
said-
my
he
boy
was like,
Ando
right,
right
you
here,
can
he
never
wears
leave.
Buffalo Bills hat everywhere
Strong
we go.
Buffalo Bills.
Hey,
hat, too.
that's
Not only that,
That
but
Buffalo
like
couldn't get any
think
bigger.
about that. Like his whole life, he's been a Buffalo Bills fan,
Yeah.
and the torture he's
Yeah.
had to go through. And,
This
what?
isn't about me. So
Yeah, yeah, the Music City Miracle.
Yeah.
that is a great hat.
He says it was a forward pass. It was not a forward pass.
Yeah.
No,
Yikes.
there's a pretty clear angle that it's not.
yeah. We'll call it.
Oh, thank you guys for backing me up on that. Hey,
He says we can make this about me if you
who
want.
was it? Who was it that told us it was? Oh, yeah, another name drop. Name drop.
Bill Cowher, that's a big
Bill
one.
Cowher. This
Jesus,
dude,
with
can I
these
tell you the
guys.
greatest? Look,
Yep.
This is why I love you guys, man. I love what y'all do. I really do. Like I love what y'all do here at Barstool Sports for the just for every guy out there and girl that just appreciates like just good fun humor and sports talk and whatever. But this is a great story, dude. Probably like you were just saying, you're like, man, you're a rock star, whatever. Like bullshit. Like I'm just a dude that somehow got lucky and I play music, and there's so many amazing people that are talented in music that like I'm just like a piece of sand in what is a huge beach, right? And
I mean, you're a rock star.
That was a lyric, by the way, that you're probably gonna have in the
no, I don't know.
I mean, a piece of sand and a huge beach. Are you kidding me?
That's why you get to wear the boots.
Fucking-
That's why you get the boots.
Imagine I walk into this
right.
office, like, you hear me clanking around the booth.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just a piece of
Yep.
sand and a huge beach. Everyone's like, Frankie, get the fuck out of here. For you, it's a cover of a new album.
Is Frankie high? Like, so tell me this isn't the coolest thing. So this is like what I love the most about doing what I do is the things that I'm able to do now because of the platform I got to, where I can share stuff with like my friends and my brother and all this. So again, like this isn't me dropping names. I feel weird saying this, but like I don't even know how this happened. Like
So me and Obama were playing.
no. So Peyton Manning, okay, is retiring. What was that? 4 years ago? When he has it.
Yeah.
I get this amazing text from Peyton saying, "Hey man, you've been a part of my life outside of football. I played his charity event a few times, played some music, and he's always been a fan of what I do, which is really cool because I'm a fan of his." And he said, "Hey, I'd love for you to come out to my retirement party that his wife is throwing for him, and it's in L.A." I was like, dang, man, I got to be in Canada like the next day. I was like, how can you pass up going to going to Peyton Manning's retirement party?
Yeah, you gotta go
I'm promising you, though, when we got there, Ando went with me. We went. At the time, thanks to these folks we worked with at Cessna and stuff, I had like a barter thing with them, and they flew us out there private, and we're going to fly us from there the next day private to Buffalo so we could cross the border and go into Canada and play my show. Well, we're sitting at the bar at Sunset Marquis in L.A., and I look over, and Bill Cowher is just sitting next to me. And only reason I'd come across Bill before is when I was out on tour with Kenny Chesney. We played at the Steelers Stadium, and he came out and whatever. So I was like, hey, Bill. He kind of recognized me. He's like, hey, Jake. He's like, what are you doing here? Are you going to Peyton's thing? I said, yeah. And he looks at Ando, and he sees that Buffalo Bills hat, and he's like, Jim Kelly's going to be there, right? And at that moment, Ando's kind of like, are you serious? Like, he's never met Jim Kelly,
Right.
But it's like his
Right.
hero.
Yeah.
And so we get there. Way long story short, Bill Cowher's. By the way, I said, Bill, you want to ride with us over there? Whatever. He's like, I was just gonna Uber, like,
What?
right? I'm like, you're Bill Cowher, like, just ride with us, So Bill Cowher hops in. We all ride over there together, and he's like, I'm introducing you, Ando, to Jim
Holy
Kelly.
shit.
So he introduces him to Jim Kelly. They talk for a while. We proceed to just get hammered drunk, and I'm thinking, you know what? I wonder if Jim excuse me, I wonder if Jim Kelly's going to Buffalo tomorrow because I have a private flight going to Buffalo.
Wow.
How cool would that be if I could see if he'd come and then tell Ando or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, hey Jim, are you guys going to Buffalo tomorrow? He's like, yeah, 7:45 a.m. Southwest flight. I'm like,
Cancel it.
yeah. I was like, listen, and I told him, I was like, look, it's not my plane. Like, I just got lucky enough they gave me the plane to use. So I was like, you want to fly with us? And he's like, hell yeah.
Oh, my God.
So the next morning, check this out.
Fucking way.
Yes. The next morning, he meets us at the airplane, and for 4 hours on the plane,
my
he
God.
sits there and talks to Ando, who's like been heartbroken 4 Super Bowls
Right,
and lost
right.
in a row. And the stories Jim Kelly told, man, about everything he's been through, from his son that he lost to cancer he's dealing with, to he was open right there in front of his wife about his trials and tribulations with not being faithful,
Right.
and
Holy shit.
yeah,
Like a tell-all story on your way to Buffalo.
all of us. And then Ando forever has always used a rubber band or like a hair tie to as like a money clip,
Yeah.
and he pulled it out for something, and Jim's like, seriously, that's what you use, like, and Ando's like, yeah, and Jim goes, no, hold on one second, and look, pull it out right now, and I'm talking about your money clip, not your cock. Look at that.
Oh, it's an
That's
unreal Bills
a
money
Buffalo
clip.
Bills money clip that by the way, he pulled off his own wad
Ooh.
and
Strong.
and gave it to Ando. And so
Strong.
my point in this long-winded story is that it's cool to sing music, it's cool to do whatever, like, but to be able to do something like that and have the
Unbelievable.
ability, that would have never happened.
No.
Like, I don't know how in the world we got to the point where on a private jet with Jim Kelly and my best friend in the world who loves the Bills and gets to sit there for 4 hours with him and talk to him about anything and everything. And to me, like, out of all the shit I've done in my career, I swear on my life, that moment was like the most fulfilling moment for me, to like see my buddy
Yeah.
like light up. You know what I mean?
Unbelievable.
It's super cool.
Yeah, the amount of things that had to happen for that to
Yeah.
just to have them both sitting there is crazy.
Jesus, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So tell us about the time you played golf with Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I forgot this is supposed to be about golf. Yeah.
It can be about anything.
I got a good Jesus Christ golf story.
Yeah, I bet you
wanna,
do.
You want to hear it?
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
So, Jesus and Moses are playing golf together at Cypress Point. I don't know if you guys have ever been or know about Cypress Point, but number 16 is just like 250-yard over the ocean shot to a small green, and Jesus or Moses gets up there and he hits. He's like, "What are you gonna hit?" And he's like, "I'm gonna hit a 5-iron." And Jesus is like, "A 5-iron? It's 230 yards." He's like, "That's what Arnold Palmer would do." And he's like, "Whatever." So he hits a shot out there, and it goes right in the ocean. And Jesus is like, "I told you." And he's like, "Okay, wherever. Well, you're Jesus, so you should be able to part the water, and I'll just go out there and hit my shot." He's like, No. You're going out there on your own. He's like, you can walk on water, can't you, Jesus? And he's like, No, I didn't hit it there. You're going out there. So next thing you know, you see Moses. He's going out there, and these guys pull up on the tee behind him, and they see Moses like literally like walking, like parting the waters, like walking on water out there to get his ball. And he says, "Who's this guy think he is? Jesus Christ?" And Jesus goes, "Nope, he thinks he's Arnold Palmer." Is that a shitty joke?
No, that's good.
No, I like
Nice
that.
little- it was a bada bing. It was nice.
Yeah,
I like
no,
it.
it's about a big.
I
That's a
like
good one.
that.
Bada-bing.
Yeah.
What about Augusta? You played Augusta?
I have.
Fuck off.
Yeah. Yeah.
You kidding me?
No, I'm not.
That's so.
I'm
Your
not.
buddy getting a money clip is better than fucking playing Augusta.
Totally.
Oh,
And I mean,
that was a great story.
I shouldn't
It was
say
a great story.
It was.
Yeah, it is a great story. I mean, because to me, it's not.
We're talking Augusta here, though.
Yeah, and look, man. Again, like, that's no disrespect to Augusta National and all the kind people that have taken me to play there.
What do you mean, all of them? How many times have you played?
I've played a lot.
Oh my God, what are we doing with this guy?
Yeah.
here? Wow, are you kidding me?
I've had some amazing experiences
Holy
there at Augusta. I don't like to talk about it honestly a lot, and I'll tell you why. Like, one of the things they ask you when you go there is they say, "Look, we're glad to have you here and everything, but like, just please kind of try to keep this like this is a special place here. So I actually was doing an interview a few weeks ago, and someone asked me about it and to tell them about my round. And I'm like, man, I just really don't want to talk about it. So no disrespect to you guys, but like I want to go back there and play again. You know what I mean?
And that just further builds the mystique of it that you've played there and you can't talk about it. That makes people like that place even more.
We know all about that mystique. I've been there. I watched the guys. They float out of the trees and they're wearing green jackets. Whenever we were there for a practice round, and something.
They let you guys in there?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I was in there.
I mean, we bought tickets.
We got tickets.
Yeah,
I was there on the Sunday that Sergio won. I was bouncing around like a rabbit. I was in every good shot that was hit that day. I was right there on the ropes somehow.
We saw these guys appear out of these trees, and then they just disappeared. Like
there was a little commotion on the green, and all of a sudden these guys just appeared in green jackets, and then they disappeared back into this like alleyway. So we know all
I
about
got a good Sergio story for you.
Oh, here we go.
Let's go.
I played with Sergio, and my best friend is Marty Fish. I grew up with Marty. Marty played professional tennis for a lot of years, but Marty's a member at Bel Air in L.A., and he's really good friends with Sergio. So he's like, come play with us. So play with him, and at Bel Air, after the 9th hole, you have to go through this like tunnel, get in an elevator, go up through the clubhouse, stop, get yourself a cocktail, and then walk out on the terrace to the 10th tee box, which is a par 3. Oh. And as we get up there, we're grabbing a drink, and this old guy spots Sergio. So he comes over to him, and he does one of these things where he puts his hands on both of his shoulders, and he goes, Sergio, I gotta tell you. He's like, you're just such a wonderful man, and I love watching you play golf. And my wife and I, we just got back from Italy, and we love Lake Como, and I just love your country. And Sergio's like, oh, thank you so much. It's so nice of you to get to this. He's like, I just wanted you to know Italy's one of the most beautiful places that I've ever been. And the whole time I'm sitting there thinking like,
this guy's off.
He's just off.
I'm like, Sergio's from fucking Spain. He's Spanish.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but the best part about it is Sergio's just like, oh, thank you so much, sir. That's so nice of you to say that. And
I'm from wherever
turned
you
around
want me
and
to be from.
We turned around and walked off, and he's like, I'm from fucking Spain. So that was like my highlight of a Sergio.
I like that. I'm surprised he just took it like that. He didn't even care.
Well, that's what's cool, man. He's like, good, and he gets a lot of shit. I'll be honest. I told him that day. I was like, dude, I didn't like you. I've never liked you. I just didn't want to like you. You kind of struck me as like kind of like a.
Yeah, he's a brat. He's like a little.
Kind of, yeah. And he's brought it upon himself, Yeah. But like after playing with him that day in golf, he's a great guy, and and I've learned that about a lot of people, man. I think we all like sometimes put like. We preface people based off things we've heard or whatever.
We've done that on this podcast many a times.
Yeah, and then you meet the person. And
Bryson, Justin Thomas, a couple Bubba Watson.
Bryson.
That's a guy who he's a nerd. He's a fucking nerd, and I think that everything about him is nerdy. I think he's not genuine. And then he came on the podcast, bodied me a couple times.
Buried Frankie on the show.
Buried me for not hitting wedges.
Yeah, he goes, at least I don't have the...
Hey, you know what he said to me one time? And this is for you, Bryson. So the guys at Cobra, Puma Golf, like have been good to me for so many years. Like that's the irons I play, the everything. And so I was in the trailer at Phoenix Open, and he came walking in, and I was like, hey, I never met him. Hey, Bryson, man, how you doing? Congrats on everything. I like what you're doing. And I was like, dude, I grabbed your clubs earlier out of your bag, which, by the way, his grips, I don't know if you know about that, but they're so weird.
Yeah,
they're like...
I'm like, these things are unbelievable. And he goes into, like, this 10-minute dissertation about, like, Jake, you should really, these one-length clubs, like, you should really try, blah, blah, blah. Why? And I'm like, dude, I would rather fucking shoot 100 with my shitty clubs than ever have to go through that 10-minute fucking story you just gave me right there. You know what I mean? And just like, dude, let me get back to regular golf now.
Yeah.
But he's like a scientist, like a mad scientist when it comes to
We asked him about the clubs, and he said how he's changing the game of golf and how kids in the future are only going to have to get one iron and learn one swing and all this stuff.
I think
which
that's
actually
cool.
is pretty cool.
I think it takes people that are crazy sometimes, not crazy, but like has their own way of doing things. And look, y'all did it. Look at Barstool Sports, right?
Yeah.
Like you did a cool thing that's different, and I'm sure there's lots of people going, these guys are fucking idiots.
Oh yeah.
But you're not.
You're great people. No one says that about me. Everyone thinks I'm an upstanding citizen.
Yeah, no, definitely. What about Tiger Woods? You got any Tiger Woods stories?
I've never met Tiger Woods, man. I should.
Do it. Just do it.
Well, it happens. It's like an Augusta story. Like I will say, like he was there when I was there. And it was like the couple weeks before the Masters.
That made me feel something.
I just got chills.
I got more than chills.
I love everyone in Augusta. I think they know how much I respect the place. But I was just standing on the putting green, and I didn't know he was there, dude. I was on the putting green with another buddy of mine who's a very famous person. And when Tiger Woods walked by and neither one of us knew, I looked at my buddy who was totally bitching out, dude. He was just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like, did you just totally just – but the coolest part was about it is like he didn't even acknowledge our existence. He just stone cold just walked right past us. But he has that aura about him.
Was he – yeah, I was going to say, was he sparkling?
No, he wasn't sparkling.
I figured like Tiger Woods, you can't see him at Augusta. I figured he just like like he becomes
I'm the
invisible.
same way. Like he's almost like a ghost.
Well, it was
Yeah,
cool.
he's a
walking
ghost.
around the
Yeah,
place.
it's
Like
just-
you can tell, but he's kind of
Like
transparent
in Harry
a little
Potter,
bit. He's
like sometimes like the ghosts will come down like
Yes.
at
Yeah.
dinner. It's like, oh, there goes Tiger. He's been here for 1,000 years.
like the minute the sun comes up, the ghost Tiger's already playing like the 10th hole at Augusta in
Yes.
the morning. I feel like
Yeah.
just walking down.
He's-
strutting
We
down
like
the
Tiger.
fairway.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Oh
Hey,
man.
speaking of which, the match play championship, right, is going on right now?
Yeah, just finished
Just
up.
finished.
Kiz,
Who won?
our boy Kiz.
Kiz won?
Yeah, it was
No
crazy.
way. So
Oh, yeah.
who beat Tiger? Because Tiger beat Rory,
This
right?
beer guard guy.
Beer
Yeah, so
guard.
Tiger beat Rory in the morning, and then Kiz ended up winning the whole thing. I actually got a picture from Kiz this morning. He has a look at his foot. He said he got a unknown injury last night.
Oh, maybe it's from all that walking you did during the match play.
No, yeah,
Yep,
that had
yep.
to be it.
Yeah, probably
That's
sure.
it.
No,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Kiz won. He beat Matt Kuchar. It was awesome. It was great. Kiz, one of our guys, 1.7 million.
Not a
out of the
bad
bank account.
payday.
Pretty good day.
I did give Phil Mickelson a lot of shit though. At Jordan Spieth's wedding, Jordan got married in November, and Phil was there, and it was the day after he played Tiger.
Ooh.
And I walked up to him, and I was like, "This is a funny story." I said, "Hey," he didn't really know me other than he and I won the Arnold Palmer Award together, the Arnie Award, which they give to like golfers who give back. Golf Digest does, and we won it together at Pebble Beach. Other than that, I don't think he really like knew me or anything.
Yeah.
But I had a few cocktails, and I saw him across the room, and I was like, I gotta go tell this guy what I think. So I walked over to him. I was like, "Hey, Phil, you owe me fucking $29.99." And he's like, "What?"
Oh.
He's like, "What?" And he's in the middle of a conversation. I was like, he basically kind of looked at me like, "Who
Yeah.
is this guy?" I'm like, "Dude, seriously, you owe me $29.99." I was like, for wasting 4 hours of my life with the shittiest golf I've ever seen. Like you guys are like the best golf. You guys hyped this whole thing up about this big match. You guys couldn't even make 3 birdies between the two of you.
Holy
I'm like,
shit.
I want my $29.99 back and apologize to me for some shitty golf.
Oh my God.
And he pulls out a wad out of his thing, and he grabs $100 bill. He's like, yeah, I won 90,000 of these yesterday. He's like,
Oh my
he
God.
goes, take 100 and go fuck yourself.
What?
Yeah, right to my
This
face.
can't be real.
I swear.
Oh my
He did.
God.
And then, so I was like, I got real wasted, man, like real hammered at his wedding.
Yeah.
And the next morning, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, I don't know if if you have Phil Mickelson's number or not, but the best part was like he was avoiding me all night because I was so hammered, just ripping on him. And then at the end,
This is amazing.
at the end of the night, I was going back to like the trolley that gets us back to shuttle that gets us back to the hotel, and I'm stumbling to this trolley, man. Like that's what you do at weddings. You have a good time, right?
Oh yeah.
And I'm stumbling to this trolley because my girlfriend's had enough. She's pregnant, and she's totally sober. She's just like, let's get you out of here. It's just terrible. And we get to the trolley. We're waiting. And as we walk up, I'm like halfway, and I look up, and the other 2 people waiting for the trolley was Phil and Amy.
Oh,
No.
And I'm
man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Meet again.
He's looking, he's like, oh my God. He's like so pissed. Like he's going to have to ride
Yeah.
next. So
Yeah.
the next morning, my girlfriend tells me, she's like, you were like a big dick. Like you were a total dick. And I'm sitting there thinking like, well, whatever. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
just having fun, good time. So fast forward to this year at the Phoenix Open. Now it's been since November that I hadn't seen or talked, and I was worried. Like I was worried he was going to be pissed. And I find out the first day of the Phoenix Open Pro-Am, the reason I bring this up, you're talking about Kuchar.
Yep.
I got paired with Phil Mickelson in the
No
Pro-Am.
way.
Yeah. And I walked up to the tee box thinking like, dude, I got to apologize or whatever. And as I'm walking up to the tee box, Phil looks at me and he's like, Jakey! He's like, oh, this is going to be fun today.
Oh my
and
God.
he
No
was so – I was like, listen, man, I'm so sorry. He's like, Jake, seriously? And this is what I like about Phil even more now is Phil Phil can be that guy too that you see on TV and think that he's too serious or he's he gets a bad rap sometimes on that. But like
people think he's phony.
He's
sometimes.
not. He's the funniest, coolest dude in the world. And we played that. I never played with him and played 9 holes that day, and then I switched and played with Kuchar after. But he told me, he's like, Jake, I loved that you did that. You weren't out of place at all. He's like, it was really funny. And he said, I wish more people like give me. He's like, because everyone kind of kisses his ass.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
He's like, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
My wife maybe not so much, but he's like, I thought it was funny.
That's crazy, man. Wow.
What a roller coaster of a
That
story
was
that
a roller
That was
coaster.
awesome.
In the beginning of it, I wanted to like crawl out of the studio because I was so like, I can't believe someone would approach someone like that. But like you said, like you just told him how it was. We all were thinking.
It was
Everyone
shitty
fe-
golf.
everyone
It was
felt
terrible.
that
all were thinking
Anybody
that.
that bought that thing and watched it was like, really? I just spent 4 hours of my life.
I can't believe you had the balls to say that to Phil Mickelson. That's insane.
I mean,
that's amazing.
Him going, I got 90,000 of these. Go fuck yourself.
yeah, he did, dude. He did.
That's such a good line. All right, we got to hear about playingtheweb.com event. I have to hear about it. First of all, the one thing I want to hear about is when you buried that guy on Twitter, this like random Doug guy.
Well, dude, here's the thing. I know for a fact, like, there's this misconstrued story that I went to college to play golf, right? My twin brother who's here, I told you about, he played full ride at Florida State, and I had some smaller scholarships to go to smaller schools, but they didn't have a scholarship for me at Florida State, so I was going to go there and just do the golf team, or try to walk on the team, but I went early to do the summer camp, ended up not working out, and quite frankly, it was misconstrued as if I played there. I didn't play there because, honestly, I just wasn't good enough, and so I'm okay to say that. But with that said, I still love golf, and all these years later, people still think that, like, I'm this big golfer, and they offered me an exemption at the web.com that was played in Nashville, and it was Snedeker's charity that was kind of running it, so they thought it'd be good to have me there as, like, to help with the publicity of it, and I was a little nervous, but I was like, I'm going to do it. I practiced hard. That's where the whole Matt Killen thing came in. He came and worked with me for a while, and I mean, I was striping it. I thought there's no way I'm going to go out there and shoot any worse. Like, if I play bad, I'll shoot 78, 79. But, like, if I play smart, my dad was going to caddy for me. But I got out there the first day, and after the front 9, I made a 9 on the 9th hole. I was playing pretty well up until the 9th hole, and I hit 2 out of bounds off the tee, and I was pissed. And so I shot like 44 or something with a 9 on that hole. And some asshole on Twitter starts chiming in like, "Hey, bro, or why are they letting this piece of shit play? I mean, he can't even break 40 on the front 9. He's making 9s out there or whatever." And I was just like, bro, you're welcome to come out here and kiss my ass. Because I'm not, last I checked, like, I'm not a pro golfer. I'm not trying to be a pro golfer. I'm just out here trying to have a good time. I mean, you and your 9 followers on Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
But I didn't play well, though. I shot 2 86s. Okay, I got 86.
Holy shit.
Yeah, but you know what? Angel Cabrera played in front of me. The guy won the Masters and the U.S. Open. He shot 84 the first day. Okay, so yeah.
When you're allowed to shoot an 86, like
like
you're saying, you're not out there trying to freaking win Masters championships.
No, I wasn't. No, I really wasn't trying to. But like, that's the thing in general, man. I've learned, and you guys know this. Like, people are haters. There's gonna be all kinds of haters out there, and I just really. I feel like I'm a dude that just likes being with his friends and having a good time, and I'm like a normal guy, right? Like, and I get people fuck with me all the time. Like, they this guy's not country. Why is he singing country music? Like, but I finally just got to a point in life where I just don't care what people think, man.
No.
And I don't think it's fair to go back at him either and be like, F you, whatever. But I'm just kind of more comfortable these days in my skin of just like enjoying life and the things I get to do. And
well, also you can think of it the other way, like we were saying, like we give Bryson a lot of hate until he came onto our podcast, but like now I can probably think of that when people hate me. It's like, well, they don't know me yet, right? Like they can see things that I do that they don't like, and they can tweet at me and hate me. But like the day that I meet them, like at a bar or something, they'll be like, oh, he's not that bad. So it's the same thing like what we do on this podcast, and then we end up meeting the person. It's like, oh shit, like Bryson's actually a cool dude.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. So
well, and it's cool you said that because I mean, you guys just even having me on here on this. I mean, I've played music for lots of years, and that's what people know me. When I get on stage, it's like sing. Like people don't get to know my personality, they don't know stories. So what you guys are doing here, even for me, is like giving me a chance to introduce myself to people out there that you guys have built a following on. That they get to know me, and maybe in a way they didn't. So maybe I turned the douche meter around on some of these.
Well,
people.
for you to like sit here and just like shoot the shit and be a really cool normal dude is incredibly revealing, and most people would never be able to figure that out because, like you said, you're either protected or you're doing it's this PR, that PR, or you're just up on stage and people don't really know who this guy is. So for you to just shoot the shit is awesome. Last thing we got to get to, talk about the album. Let's plug the album.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.
I'm just at a place in life where I'm really just kind of happy, like with who I like, because I think no matter what people tell you or not, every one of us I think, and as a man, I can tell you, like, there's things I'm insecure about. You know what I mean? I'm okay to say that out loud in front of a bunch of other dudes, and that's okay. Like, but you learn as you go through life that those sorts of things like don't matter. You become more confident, and I think this record for me is like the most confident I've ever felt making music, because I have felt, when I say insecure, I feel like I'm from Vero Beach, Florida. I grew up on the beach. That doesn't mean I don't know anything about country music or anything. I love it, and I have a deep history into that. But I think this record now, when people listen to this record, for anybody that would have ever thought that like I'm not, like, don't know anything about country music, or it's my way of like showing everyone, and then now seeing like, man, like this guy's in a cool place, and he really, like, this record's really country. It's got some great songs on it, but then it's also got this stuff on there that I love doing too, like the more coastal Floridian sort of thing where I'm my roots. But yeah, it's called Greetings from Jake. It just came out last Friday, and I'm really proud of it. I've had number 1 off of it with I Was Jackie or Diane Down to the Honky Tonk. Did really well for us. And our new song that's about to come out is called Drink All Day. You can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning, you know?
It's true.
What a great song name.
And
what a great song name is, right.
Yeah, you know how that is. I mean, you get on that golf course about 8 a.m. and your buddy's like, hey, bro, you want a beer? And you're like, dude, it's 8 a.m. So, hey, you can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
Unreal.
Well, everybody go check it out. Jake Owen, you're the man. You're a great dude. You have a couple. I have a golf playlist that I'm getting ready to reveal to the world. And a couple.
They call them Rigsy playlists.
We call them Rigsy Jams.
Yeah. They like to make fun of me
Jams.
because our fans, like to give me nicknames. But I got a couple of your songs on there. Barefoot Blue Jean Night is on there. Beachin's on there.
Nice.
So, big fan. We appreciate you coming by. A lot of good stories. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you guys so much. And this was really cool being able to come in here today. And everybody that looks like they're working in here is having a good time. So.
Next time you skull fuck a ball, I want you to tweet it at me, because we think it's contagious. And
I've got a great video I'll have to show you in a minute when we're up here. My twin brother, I have a golf hole at my house. I built this little pond, and then it's green on the other side of the pond, so you hit across the pond to this shot. It's only like 150 yards. And my brother, he was out there with us the other day, and he can't stand it because I was videotaping him, and he hosel rocketed like 10 of them. So that's kind of like a skull fuck.
Yeah, that is a skull fuck.
time.
Oh yeah, big time. All right, man. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming in.